Hey everyone, welcome to an Arabia game between Slam and MBL. This is going to be a Chinese war, so we should get some pretty interesting results from this. We see, of course, the Chinese starting with those extra villagers but no food, so they need to get their sheep pretty quickly. And Slam having a bit of trouble finding his sheep. Built the house and sent all the villagers to berries. Didn't scout this area with a villager. He's just going to do that now and find his sheep. Kind of an unfortunate position, kind of pushed out of the way by that pond. But he does have a really nice deer patch. Either he could mill over here and take them, or push them towards his town center. He does like to push deer towards his town center, and it looks like, yep, he's going to be doing that right now. He did take those berries at the start, so that should help him, even though he didn't find those sheep in time. But should get his first villager out pretty quickly, but that second villager might get delayed a bit. Of course, you do loom right at the start to... because there's nothing else for you to do while you're waiting for the food to come in. You see MBO also will have done loom just now building the house. And normally, as the Chinese, you do keep 7 villagers on sheep, just because you need to make sure you bring in that extra food. As Slam killing that sheep, and now going to move the villagers over. Does have a pretty nice wood line back here, but if we take a look at the rest of his map, all of his resources are forward and on this hill. So this gold, really far away from him. These stones, this gold, all on this hill. And this, his main gold, still pretty far forward. Could be pressured by this part of the hill over here. So that's not very good map generation for Slam. And well, looks like he hasn't pushed in those deer just yet, but he might come back and do that once he finds the rest of his resources, finds both of his boar, and looks like he might still need 2 of his sheep somewhere. Or maybe he found them. Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at MBL's map. He has a forward gold, so he's taking one of his boar, and 2 other resources out, kind of on the side of his base though, so not directly between him and Slam. And stone here, that's pretty safe. And this is a pretty nice gold in the back, kind of blocked off a bit by the cliff there, but should be able to keep that pretty safe. So MBL's map looking maybe a little bit better than Slam's. Slam really gonna have to do something to secure these resources, as now he's starting to push in the deer as he goes to hunt his boar. Looks like he's gonna build a house before he hunts it. Maybe that's just because he's pushing in those deer and he'll have that extra food from the deer as well. And just now going out to build the mill, as MBL now has brought in his first boar, starting off a little bit of a house wall over on the side of his base. And he'll be sending out a villager to take in his second boar right away. Both players, we have 4 on wood, as MBL bringing in the boar, and villager will get off the hill before the boar gets in the first hit. That'll be good, it'll save an extra 2 HP. And MBL opting not to build a mill yet, just putting all of his villagers on the boar. And he does have loom, so he will be really safe. As that boar goes down, very nicely positioned right underneath the TC. That way the villagers can simply stand up to drop off the food instead of needing to walk around. And now sending out 2 more villagers out to the mill. They'll need to build another house soon. So same population for both the players, both managing to have pretty similar starts. But Slam will have a bit of an advantage because he did push in those deer, but he hasn't... well, it looks like MBL is also going to be pushing in a few deer of his own. His deer are a bit further away. So, see, pretty nice start from both players, pretty equal with each other. MBL maybe a little bit ahead, but Slam not too far behind. As this boar, will that villager fit? Yes, she will. Also very nicely positioned underneath the town center, a bit close to this top part of the town center. Will stop villagers from gathering on that side of the boar, but still is really nice getting it nice underneath that town center. And now bringing in the second boar, he was able to delay this boar because he did push in those deer. So hopefully those deer will give him a pretty nice food boost. And at 20 population, 21, looks like he'll be adding in the 21st villager to go to 22 population. Same with MBL, he might even go up higher. As that deer not very close to the town center. And MBL adding in 2 farms. As Slam's just now sending more villagers over to wood and putting down his barracks. Putting down the barracks here at the bottom of the hill. This will serve to... He could wall from the barracks to this tree line. Will serve to protect this gold a bit. But the top of this hill and that gold up there still will be pretty vulnerable. MBL could come forward with some towers or maybe even with some men-at-arms, try to push in on these stone piles. And once he takes out the stone piles, that really stops Slam's ability to build up any counter towers. So that could be a really strong push for MBL. As MBL now, first to click up to feudal, Slam about 7 seconds behind. Slam on 24 population, same as MBL, so both going up with 23 villagers. MBL sending 2 villagers forward and building up barracks. It's pretty early on into feudal, so maybe he'll be looking to make some militia before he reaches feudal. He could try to go forward with some men-at-arms. We'll check his scouting. He does see that Slam has a forward gold there, and he did find, looks like he did find 2 of Slam's sheep. And you'll see, let's check what he scouts. So he sees these straggler trees here in the houses, so he'll know that the town center is somewhere around here, so he'll need to be careful with his scout. There's another house. And moving out. So he knows where Slam is right now. Slam, meanwhile, hasn't scouted MBL yet. Just now, finding those 2 sheep, MBL didn't try to steal them like the lame he is. He just kind of left them there. And now MBL gonna spot this main gold, gonna spot the chopped tree so he knows the town center's there. And does get housed a bit, so it looks like he is making some militia from that barracks. And he will be moving villagers over to gold, so it looks like he will be going probably for a men-at-arms push. And Slam hasn't taken any gold yet. Looks like he's probably going for scouts, so men-at-arms can be very strong versus scout. Slam does have a nice early wall up, starting to come up over here. Maybe it would have been easier for him just to wall here and then build some buildings out along this part of the hill. Would give him a bit more control of that hill. But now, stable coming up for Slam, and of course men-at-arms can be very effective at dealing with Scout Rush because the men-at-arms will hit sooner than the player has the scouts out to deal with it. So the militia are right now walking across the map, kind of path themselves on opposite sides of the forest as the men-at-arm research comes in, and MBL on gold right now has added in 2 lumber camps, moving more villagers over there now. As Slam just now adding in farms. He did take those deer rather early, so that did help him to delay his farms. And now getting out a couple of scouts, and we'll see where his scout is. Just scouting MBL's gold and scouting the barracks, so he probably knows that the men-at-arms are coming in now. And this looks pretty wall off right now, and he's going to put up an archery range right now. Maybe he's scouted that MBL's going for men-at-arms and wants to get out some skirmishers. And yep, here are the men-at-arms coming in by the stable, as MBL is going to be able to wall in those villagers. See, can he get the wall up towards the town center, going with a palisade, and yeah, it looks like he will get that wall up, keep those villagers safe. We'll need a piece of wall there to keep that part of the wood line safe. MBL could also harass here with some archers or some towers, but we'll keep his base pretty nicely walled. MBL could come around here, but that's a pretty long walk. And now Spearman engaging, ooh, and killing the scout. That's some pretty sloppy micro by MBL, not quite reacting in time. And a few more scouts here. Spear coming forward from MBL though to help deal with the scouts. And men-at-arms just going to start attacking the archery range, as that villager is vulnerable, going to be sent back to the TC. Spear going to do a tiny bit of damage to that men-at-arms, but not too much. Another spear coming forward for MBL, as Slam can't really engage with his scouts here, so he's just going to send them forward and try to do some damage at MBL's base. Has scouted out the position of his main gold. But now MBL's coming forward with a tower, and that's going to be a very good position for a tower, being able to deny this gold. This stone is already outside the walls and going to help him put pressure on these 2 resources here. He's going to delete that as Slam starts building the counter tower and move it back slightly just so that it won't get knocked down by that tower. Still gives him a really good position, both to pressure units that come out of these archery ranges and to hit that golden stone. That villager looks like she's been idle there for quite a bit. And Spearman back at home for MBL to push those scouts away. Slam's going to keep running away as MBL has started coming forward with archers. Looks like he might have misclicked a bit with the vills to put them in range of that tower, and he's going to lose one of them. Needs to put them back on the tower. So now Slam has a bunch of scouts, and let's see, is he going to come back? Looks like he's going to try to, yeah, come back. MBL has out. Was able to push MBL off of gold, but still not the Not the most powerful of pushes, because MBL was still... None of his wood and none of his farms were harassed, so that's not really going to slow down his castle age at all. And he is coming down with a second archery range, so we'll probably look to add in either some more archers or some more skirmishers, as Slam has gone fully into skirmishers now. No fletching yet. Since MBL did make that archer, he will have spent a bit of gold, so he will need to mine some more gold before he goes into the fletching upgrade. So Slam should have a pretty good advantage right now. We'll see if he's able to clean up this tower. He has the skirmishes he needs to push back the spearmen, and should just have the numbers he needs to engage with the men-at-arms. No upgrades on any of Slam's units, though. And scouts will go down, as men-at-arms are super strong at tanking skirmisher shots. They do go down eventually, but especially without fletching, those skirmishers don't really do much damage to them. Villagers are gonna fight the men-at-arms, as that one going to just about stay alive. Maybe the skirmishers will be able to finish it off, or the scout can hunt it down. And looks like he'll go down, but now Slam's gonna want to be careful with that scout and not engage directly with the men-at-arm. Could try to trap it on the hill, as MBL is going to repair the tower with the villas that were inside of it, pop them out around the base, let them repair a bit while they get hit, and then pop them in, because that micro with the villager is so hard. And now Slam coming forward with a few more spears, or MBL coming forward, gonna push Slam away from that tower, force him to garrison inside of his own tower, try to get some shots on the spears. And that tower, even able to hit this side of the gold. Slam probably still can't access it from over here, but mining camp, not the best position. Villagers might kind of walk around here. Maybe over here would have been a bit better position because of all the pressure coming in from this side. And another tower coming up from MBL, that's going to help him out a lot in keeping this tower alive, because now the towers will be able to defend each other's bases. It's fletching just now coming in for Slam. MBL still doesn't have it. He's still... Just now, it looks like he's just going back to gold. Hasn't done the gold, got the gold he needs. But if you look at their farming ecos, MBL has 11 farmers compared to Slam's 18. And that's what going for scouts allows you to do. It allows you to basically invest in your food economy right from the start of the feudal age. So you're going to have a stronger food eco and probably hope to click up to castle pretty quickly. Now, he has built a market in the back because all of his resources are forward and being denied, so that will help him to balance out his economy. Putting some more houses over here on the side. As he is open over here, villagers did chop through that wall, and skirmishers could find their way into the eco, but with a couple scouts there, they shouldn't be able to do much damage. Fletching just about finishing for MBL as he has it right now. And still, that house could go down, so Slam gonna need to build another tower on this side of his gold because MBL is now going to get through. Might be worth it for Slam just to put down a piece of wall or two over here just to stop MBL from walking around. And MBL now, he is in that tower. That will go up as MBL is gonna come back to repair this one. And now that skirmisher just gonna get covered with some arrows as it spawns out of the archery range. And now that gold is a bit safer now. Archers can't really harass from this side anymore, but this tower still can cause a bit of problems on this side of the gold. As Slam right now adding in a second house, and let's check what he's scouting. Yep, he has an extra gold, so he's gonna move out to one of the map's piles of 3 extra gold, and he's gonna run into a wolf. Is not going to do much against the loomed villagers, but we'll take some HP off of her. As right now he is also camping this hill with his units just to make sure MBL doesn't manage to get around, sending the scouts to help protect the village from the wolf, but she's already killed it. Ooh, even more deer out here for Slam. And MBL not really able to push in anymore. Has denied a lot of these resources, but with these 2 towers here, he's not going to be able to touch Slam's main gold. Slam doing real barrel. He will need just a bit more gold to click up to the castle age, as MBL also just starting wheelbarrow right now, pretty far away himself from the castle age. He's going to put up a watchtower to protect his stone, and another watchtower on his gold, so he's going to use these towers to defend his base as he goes up. And Slam just slowly but surely massing up these skirmishers, and only doing it from one range. And MBL with 2 ranges, looks like he might have stopped producing. Yeah, he stopped producing, and Slam has been able to get a larger army at this point with well, not, well, I guess he doesn't have the military advantage, but he does have the number of skirmishers he needs to be able to push this back with all of his army in one place, too. As MBL has some of his skirms out of position on that hill, and those scouts and skirmishers are going to be able to engage against the skirmishers pretty well. There's 2 men-at-arms left for MBL. We'll be able to help push into the skirmishers, but now Slam has the numbers he needs to push that back as MBL is coming forward with some more skirmishers. We'll see if Slam sees that, or Slam just might go in carefully to try to pick off the spearmen, because those are what can do the most damage to his scouts. And like we see just there, that scout going down to the spear. And another stable coming up, and bloodlines for Slam, so it looks like he's going to be trying to go into knights. But now another watchtower forward for MBL. He's exactly 1 minute slower to the castle age than MBL we saw, because MBL invested in those farms a lot sooner, so he was able to mass up that food production. And now MBL just chasing Slam around the map. Slam scouting out here, seeing what he can find. Gonna run into that tower and get pushed back. That men-at-arms getting hit on the skirmisher there. As these towers, still another tower going up. This is going to be such a nuisance for Slam. As looks like this tower actually did go down. So good for MBL to clear that up. Few skirmishers sitting there in the base. And that men-at-arm finally going to go down to the scouts and the skirmisher. But now coming, with a 4th tower even. MBL really doing everything he can to control this area of the map and to deny those resources from Slam. And what has he scouted? No, he hasn't scouted up here. He doesn't know where the extra gold was. I think I saw the other one. Yep, the other extra gold and the extra stone are down here in this corner. So if MBL scouts that, that'll be really bad for Slam. And a few archers in the tower even, that's good, because you put the archers in the tower and you're not going to be wasting the idle time on the villagers. And Siege Workshop coming up for Slam. He's going to try to push into those towers, and deleted the mining camp to put up a town center on the gold. Only building it with 1 villager though. As he is ahead in score, but MBL still is ahead in population because of all of his military. And there's a knight coming out for Slam. Yep, producing knights from 2 stables, getting out a battering ram, and he'll use the knights to push into the skirmishers. As MBL coming forward with 2 monasteries, knowing that Slam's going for knights and he's going to try to get out some monks to counter them. As a few archers forward for MBL, yeah, and Slam can see those monasteries coming up. He's not going to try to deny them yet. And if he can't mass up enough knights doing husbandry now, that will help him close the distance on the archers and on the monks. But MBL has quite a few spearmen out by this gold with them and that tower. That gold's going to be pretty safe. Slam going right for it, but he's going to be pushed away. And he's continuing through underneath the town center just to try to find something squishy and vulnerable to hit. Spearmen chasing, getting pulled a bit out of position as he's coming in from this side with his skirmishers, but MBL walling up quickly with a house, restricting the movement of Slam's knights, and now putting down 2 watchtowers on his woodline. That might be a bit overkill, but that will protect him from the knight raiding as he has the monks out. And Chinese, of course, they do get cheaper technologies every time they age up. The bonus is, let's see, minus 10% feudal, 15% castle, and 20% imperial. So their monk techs actually are a bit easier to research than other civs, kind of like the Burmese in the recent HD expansions. So that will allow them to, if Slam does go for a mangonel, the Sanctity and Redemption upgrades will be cheaper for MBL. And now it looks like the knights have been pushed away. Slam coming forward with a few more to try to do raiding, deleting a knight so it doesn't get converted. But those monks are going to be pretty powerful dealing with the knights. Still Slam moving out with outposts, desperately trying to find more resources. That villager already goes down to a wolf. As this gold is pressured by the towers and it's not going to last forever. And engagement over here. Finally enough knights to push this back as both the monasteries are forward, so the monks aren't going to be able to defend that well. And spearmen were a bit out of position chasing down these knights. There we go, these knights and these skirmishers. So they will have to come back over to that gold. And MBL will be pushed off of gold for a bit. Let's check what his scouting is. He does see he has a gold there, and his other extra goals over there. And does have a good number of crossbowmen up here on the hill, and now making his own siege workshop. This tower also able to deny several farms from Slam, and that's big because Slam had to invest a lot of wood into those farms, and that's wood he's not going to get back. Might even want to delete those farms so that the villagers don't wander onto them when they finish their farms, and because then they'd be in range of the towers. But more knights coming forward from Slam. MBL has brought a few monks back, and looks like he has even gotten a few conversions. And Slam still, that villager will make his way to these extra resources eventually. And chasing down one of Slam's knights, and let's see, these monks need to rest so they can convert. They need to run to the tower and garrison inside before the knights hunt them down. 2 monks going down, but those 2 will make it into the tower in time, as the spearmen are still coming forward, and now going to be fighting underneath the watchtower. And nice palisade wall here from MBL. Could even put the monks into this little opening here to keep them safe from the knights while they convert. Not going to get the quick wall up in time though. The tower not even firing any arrows. With the monks inside of it. Now I hear another conversion, trying to convert those 2 knights, but they will get away. And now the town center fire coming in on the knights. And 2 conversions. Will the knights get away in time? Looks like they will, but they will run underneath that town center and take some more arrow fire. Not all the villas are garrisoned, though. There's quite a few, 7 out of 15, but town center could have done a bit more attack. Now they gotta run underneath these towers. That wood line's safe. Those villagers are idle, and that tower still has a skirm garrison inside of it. Those 2 villagers could go down. Yep, standing there idle until they were found by the knights. Oh, but that knight will push these ones away. That knight's very low on HP. We have another tower here. Meanwhile, MBL pushing forward. Slam has come out with a bunch of battering rams and some knights to deal with these crossbows. That mangonel from MBL can't come out of the siege workshop yet because it was just cleaned up by a knight. And Slam finally will push back these towers. Monk will probably get another conversion here on a knight. Yes. That'll pay for itself. And now these towers finally going to go down to the battering rams. There's more knights coming out for Slam, and he's taking quite a huge score lead, as he is ahead by about 20 villages at this point. And Mangonel now coming out now that the knights have been pushed away, going to be able to get a few hits on these rams, even push them back and allow them to keep this tower alive. And we'll see what MBL does with those villagers, as all of Slam's raiding has been cleared up at this point. And rams are being pushed back. Another ram could go down on 2 HP. Gonna sneak away though. And more stables from Slam. And looks like he added in another scout to help deal with the monks. Of course, scouts do resist conversion, and yeah, he is going to be adding in scouts and doing the light cav upgrade, as he's moved some of his eco towards the back. Still though, he's lost control of all of his resources, hasn't even been able to take this gold since the feudal age, and the mangonels now are pressuring this town center. Another tower coming up for MBL. Slam took them out, but now MBL is just adding them back in. Sanctity coming in for the monks. That'll give them an extra 15 HP. And Slam, up his villagers, still hasn't found exactly where these extra resources there. Keep going and you will get there eventually. No more wolves, so nothing to fear from him unless MBL scouts that. Has MBL? Nah, MBL hasn't scouted that yet. And still, he sees that Slam has some economy up here, but still hasn't scouted that extra gold, and I guess that doesn't matter anymore because Slam has used it all up. So now, Slam does not have access to any gold at this point. Also could have been a reason for him switching into the light cabs, both to counter the monks, the mangonels, and because he doesn't have gold for any more knights. And these 3 mangonels will take out that watchtower pretty quickly. And now all of MBL's eco is pretty safe for the moment with those towers, those town centers, and another town center coming up between this deer and this wood line. And MBL can just come forward and take Slam's resources. A barracks coming up. We'll maybe be looking for pikemen to counter all of the light cav from Slam. And so Slam in a really good position with his score, but he's lost all of the map control and doesn't really have a way to gather resources. And we're going to get one mangonel from MBL. Can he get a second? Oop, staying alive on the hill, but no, not gonna trade one for one, not going to get a second mangonel. And knight coming in, probably a converted knight from MBL, attacking this wood line, trying to get some picks on the villagers, and one villager going down. And looks like a second villager could go down, but nope, she will make it into the town center. As this pressure with the light cav, it can come in, but as long as the monks can stay in the towers, they'll be fine. And a few pikemen are coming out. Can the monks, looks like the monks got one conversion on the knight, but these ones, now that they're forced out of the tower, will go down. And more rams coming in to take out the tower, as the monks desperately just trying to get a few more conversions before they're taken out by the light cavalry. And now pikemen coming in from MBL, trying to push into these light cavalry, and those pikemen will do a really good job against this light cavalry from Slam. As more rams come out, but MBL has to keep those mangonels inside of his siege workshop until he has control of this map again with the pikemen. And once those light cav are pushed away, the mangonels can come out, deal with the rams, or even just send the knights to keep the mangonels in the siege workshop for now. And yeah, MBL still... Oh, now he's putting a castle right on this hill. Only 2 villagers building it, though. Maybe he could send some more villagers out, or at least try to wall these villagers in. But there's nothing really to stop that castle from going up from Slam. Could maybe go for a mangonel, try to get a shot on those villagers, but MBL should be able to get that up. As now Slam has moved out, just now starting to take this gold. And that will help him be able to start producing more knights instead of just light cav. But these pikemen, no upgrades on them, but still extremely effective at dealing with the light cav. That castle slowly but surely going up, and MBL hasn't been raided for a long time. Still quite a big villager difference of about 40 villagers, and now a tower coming up on this gold to make it even more safe. But Slam can't really engage MBL's army at this point. Maybe he looks like he's just going to come forward and try to do some more raiding. But MBL does have a barracks at home, is making some pikemen, so this gold, especially with the tower there, that will be safe. Slam now doing Bodkin arrow. Let's see, does Slam have an archery range? Yep, he's adding in some archery ranges up here at the top. And he has finally found this gold, and with that one villager, 4 HP, survived the wolves, built a whole bunch of houses, and now putting up a town center on that gold. Hasn't found that stone or those 2 relics yet, but 2 more wolves, not going to touch that villager. And raiding coming in on the gold. MBL has garrisoned the tower, but he will be sending the pikemen back. And these knights will be forced away or cleaned up pretty quickly, as that castle has gone up. Slam... Mangonel's not going to do much. Maybe he'll need to... If he wants to push it in the Castle Age, he'll need to mass rams. Otherwise, he'll have to go up to the Imperial Age. That's pikemen pushing the knights away from that gold so MBL can take it again. Still hasn't moved out to any of his other 2 golds, just relying on his main gold pile. And, ooh, another castle coming up for Slam, as these mangonels will make short work of that watchtower, and this will control Slam's other gold. And now Slam will have access only to this gold now, as these 2 castles keeping Slam completely away from those golds, and Slam's army of light cav now countered by these pikemen. And skirmishers, Slam doesn't have many options at this point, but he will go for skirmishers. We'll go for handcart to make those villagers even more efficient. He has so many villagers now, but no gold to spend his economy on. And he's massed up over almost 1,200 food, and just spending it on these light cav, trying to spam light cav. And now Chukonu coming out for MBL, as MBL still only on 2 town centers. And that ram will be pushed away. Chukonu are really effective at dealing with rams just because they fire so many arrows, and those rams just get eaten alive by them. As this town center now going down to the mangonels, and MBL coming forward to take Slam's gold. And MBL just needs to scout this gold pile over here and can stop all of Slam's ore production. And especially with these 2 castles now, Slam now clicking up to the Imperial Age, but needs to do something. Remember, he doesn't have stone either. He can't put up his own castle to make trebuchets unless he buys stone at the market. And it looks like he hasn't done that yet. Only has 70 stone and hasn't scattered this extra stone either. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 to 5 tiles outside his line of sight. And MBL now moving out to take his extra resources, putting a town center there will keep them nice and safe. And MBL, even though he's down in score, in a really nice position, as the Mangonels now going to pressure Slam's starting town center, and that's a lot of farms. Slam has spent a lot of wood on those farms, and he's going to be pushed away, as this starting wood line from Slam is all chopped up. This wood line at the back doesn't have too many more trees, but Slam is now taking wood over here, has another town center up there. And just moving around the map as his main base is being taken out. Still, though, has a huge villager lead of about 40 villagers, but with 80 villagers, that's sufficient for MBL to pump out a good number of army units. And Blacksmith about to go down, and let's see. Slam only has 20 military units on the field, trying to push in, but those light cav aren't going to do much against the pikemen, but elite skirmisher coming in, that'll help him to fight against the pikemen, maybe take some fights underneath castles, but he has to be so wary about these mangonels. And town center coming up on between Slam's main gold and his main stone, so now MBL has his resources and he has Slam's resources. And the skirmishers are coming in on the side as Slam trying to mass up some rams, but MBL will protect this area of the map with his castle, and 2 stables coming up here as well. Some knights gonna be able to take a fight with those light cav, but will run away. The light cav just trying to mass themselves up over here. As Slam now, he has started more military production, he is massing a lot of light cav. He will need to do raiding with those light cav to try to keep MBL back. As chain barding armor coming in for MBL, as just as Slam hits the Imperial Age, and now what is he going to do is his siege workshops. Not doing any resources yet. Slam just has those 2 siege workshops, but there you go, Caparam and plate barding armor. And Chinese, I don't think they get Hussar. Nope, Chinese don't get Hussar, so these upgraded light cav are all he's gonna get in terms of trash along with these skirmishers. And once Capt Ram comes in, we might see him try to push up into this castle, but we have some Chuko news, and we have a bunch of stable here to push out cavalry units, as MBL continues pushing up into this part of Slam's base, attacking those farmers with his knights, killing those villagers. And let's check MBL's resources. Nowhere near Imperial, but he doesn't really need to go Imperial right now. He needs somehow to hit this part of Slam's economy. And we'll see how MBL decides to play it from now. Another castle going up, so his economy is pretty safe. Maybe these farms are a bit vulnerable, but otherwise this area of his economy is really safe. He has a whole bunch of stables there. We'll probably be looking to go for Cavalier, as Slam is now trying to push in all at once with a really big push into this area of the map. And pikemen, though, will hit those light cav as the rams are coming forward, but Slam has nothing to protect the rams. Rams will go down quickly to the knights, and he has to get back to the rams because skirmishers aren't going to be able to fend off the knights, as the light cav are going down. Knights are killing the skirmishers. Pikemen also die to the elite skirmishers, but they just keep the knights alive, and these rams not really able to ram anything. MBL just has the knights he needs here to push them away, as a bit more raiding coming up, just a few knights sitting there with a +2 armor, taking some town center shots, sitting in the economy, denying these farms, denying even that university. And Slam not able to do anything with those rams. MBL now catching up in score and passing Slam in score. He's gotten to 100 villagers, and he has the eco he needs to push out and push Slam back, because all Slam can do is make light cav. And even now, this extra gold, only like 300 gold left on it. And MBL is just taking all of these resources, so well played by him, even though he had the lower score for such a long time, just taking control of this map, showing how important it is to know where your opponent's resources are and know how to pressure them, know where the hills are. And Slam's buildings now being taken out, as Slam has added in some halberdier to deal with the knights. MBL only has his 1 forward siege workshop, Could potentially go with another siege workshop and a couple of rams to take out these buildings. We're at forging coming in, doing some more upgrades on his knights, and husbandry coming in, padded archer armor for the Chukonu, just upgrading the rest of his units. And let's see, has MBL still hasn't scouted that Slam has eco over here, but well, at this point Slam's finished his eco. And has Slam scouted that stone? Nope, still hasn't scouted the stone. Probably will see it though when he puts up the lumber camp. And MBL just adding in more farms now, slowly but surely adding in more villagers. That he now has a really strong economy and all of the map control, so not much Slam can really do from here. Needs to try to push in. If he can take out those castles and those stables, maybe secure these resources for himself, that'll be really good. But no gold left on the map for Slam to take. All of the gold belongs to MBL. MBL's knights are going to come up here, and Slam has nothing to defend against this. Probably have to push out maybe some camels with. Nah, he doesn't really have the gold for that. We're just gonna have to push out halberdier, and even a ram being taken down. And not much Slam can do from this position with no gold. Handcart finally coming in for MBL, as all of this wood line is being denied. Yep, and a few camels, but just normal camels, not heavy camels. They will, however, be able to push the knights back. We'll need to clean up that wood line. Those knights still do so much damage to that economy. And down here, MBL hasn't quite cleaned up these buildings, so Slam is able to move some of his economy down here. Has found that stone, so he can get up a castle of his own, but now another castle coming up for MBL. And finally has seen this. We'll be sending knights over to it. Slam can see the knights coming in. As all of Slam's eco up here, taking so much damage from those knights. And now MBL doing some more damage down here. Slam walling in those villagers. That's nice. They'll be able to take that stone pretty safely. But Light Cav, MBL doesn't quite have the number of knights he needs, but he is now up to the Imperial Age. As Slam now just trying to mass up some more capped rams, and we'll try to push into that castle. But it's going to be so hard with those Chukonu that can sit behind the castle and take out rams. There's a few knights still over in Slam's economy though with the camels, so we'll be able to push them back a bit, but camels do just melt to arrow fire from the castles. Because camels, of course, are boats. And now some Chukonu coming in to do some raiding. And more upgrades coming in for the Chukonu leather archer armor. And Thumbring is Slam now doing siege ram. And we'll have quite a few siege rams up garrisoned inside that siege workshop to come out and push. And looks like this is going to be the push from Slam, as MBL completely destroying Slam's eco. Watchtowers coming up, maybe even just to garrison villagers, try to keep them safe. And now Slam pushing in the Chukonu at the top of the hill, doing a lot of damage to the Light Cav. Halberdier is trying to push in up the hill as well, but this top of the hill is such a great place for MBL to camp, as he's now doing the mining upgrades. And siege rams are coming in, and MBL needs more troops here. Doesn't quite have the troop numbers he needs to defend it, but the knights are now coming over. We'll be able to attack those ram. That one castle might go down, but not going to be the worst. This is all of Slam's army right here. The Chukonu just able to run away as the castle's firing. MBL just, these villagers just standing out here in the middle of nowhere. If anything, just soaking up attacks and stopping the Light Cav from killing the Chukonu, and all of the Light Cav are going down. That castle might go down, but it's not enough. There's the GG from Slam, and what a great game from MBL there, recognizing how bad Slam's map was and putting on the pressure he needed to deny it, to deny Slam from taking all of those resources, and showing us how those men-at-arms can be a really strong push right at the beginning of the game before your opponent is able to mass up the scouts he needs to take fights in the feudal age. Alright, let's go take a look at the achievements. And we see, yep, that military score, really nice for MBL, even though Slam had the stronger economy and even the stronger technology, just wasn't able to take any good fights against MBL with all of that map control he had. And look at all those extra resources gathered by Slam, but wasn't able to put them to use, as MBL still even did get more gold, and never even needed to to reach the Imperial Age. And all those extra villagers, but not able to use them. 5 castles from MBL. Alright, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.